not only that. I said, not only everybody else sounding the same way when they pray. I said they doing the same thing when they standing up and they giving the word. I said, everybody got this mimicked behavior. And I said, I know the spirit, knowing all things and being as powerful as it is, I know it ain't gonna make everybody sound the same, talk the same, give the word the same, and be praying. I know it. I know that ain't. I said, no. Because from what I come from, anything that I'm attached to, anything that I'm doing it with all my heart. I'm doing it because that's what I believe in. If I'm doing something, that's what I believe in. When I was in the streets, when I traveled and give my testimony in different places, I tell so many people, I thought everybody was living like me. I thought everybody thought like me. I thought everybody was getting down like me. I thought everybody was because that's what I believe. So now that I done stepped into this belief, now that I done stepped into the faith and I'm trying to learn, what I'm seeing is mimic behavior. That's mimic behavior. If you possessing the Holy Spirit, ain't no way 10 of y'all sound the same way when you praying. That's mimic behavior to me. That's a mimic behavior. I didn't like that. And in that moment, guess what I started doing right there? Training myself to talk to him the way I want to talk to him. Training myself to pray the way I feel that he was leading me to pray. I wasn't, yes, Lord, yes, Father, Father, give the God, we standing before you right now in the name of, thank you, Father, Father. I'm not going to do that because that's what everybody else doing. That ain't the spirit. That ain't the power right there when you doing that. And it ain't no power ain't no power in something that's mimicked. You can say what you want to say. You can flip it, toss it, turn however you want. Ain't no power in something mimicked. You know why? Because it's not spirit led, and I stand on that. And anybody get up and say something different, oh well, it is what it is. But I'm gonna tell you something. If it's mimicked, it's not spirit led because it's something you've been watching long. It's something you've been listening to for a long time, and it's something you've been doing for a long time. Why you think a lot of these pastors ain't even got to pick their word up and read it? You know why? Because they've been doing it for so long. It's done turned into a mimic behavior. And one thing for sure, two things for certain. When I'm giving my testimony, I always tell people this is not behavior modification, because a lot of people assume because I went to prison and done 10 years, they figure I'm scared now. They figure, he just don't want to go back. He just don't want to go back to jail. He just scared to go. No. I didn't transform. When the words say be ye transformed, but be ye transformed and turn away from that stuff, it don't mean mimic behavior. This ain't behavior modification, bro. This is spirit led. And I believe in that. So look, check this out. Now let me get to it. So I'm getting ready to go home, right? I'm getting ready to go home. I'm deep into the word. So of course I'm gonna save myself for marriage. I'm not finna get out robbing folks, taking from folks, selling dope. I'm not finna be doing this. I'm not finna be doing that. Listen to me. I said all the stuff majority or probably every believer say when they get ready when they walk into the faith. When you on fire for Christ, what you don't understand is you're not perfect. I don't care how much words you know. I don't care how much praying you done did. I don't care how many sermons you done went through. I don't care what you think you know. Listen to me. I'm finna get to that. I don't care how much time you done spent in the face of the Most High. If you got it in your mind that you gonna walk around here and you not gonna fall short, you ain't gonna tell a lie, you ain't gonna get angry, you ain't gonna cuss nobody out, you ain't gonna fall short and sleep with somebody, you ain't gonna do something you ain't got no business doing, you already in trouble. Because I'm gonna tell you already you are setting yourself up for failure. And I'm gonna tell you why you set yourself up for failure. Because when the Spirit is all knowing, all powerful. They are one. The Spirit is very much capable of keeping you. Let me clear that over because I know it's a lot of people. Well, the Spirit, you can do this and you can do that. You do that. Yeah. I hear you. But let's get real with it. The Spirit is capable. That's why he said the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. My flesh is weak, but my spirit is willing. I've done 10 years. I hadn't been into the world. I hadn't been able to experience. I hadn't been able to run into no vices that I used to have. I hadn't run into the old lust problems I used to have. I hadn't run into the old greed problems I used to have. I hadn't ran into no experience. So of course I'm able to sit in this cell and say, you know what? I ain't finna do this. I ain't finna do that. And I ain't finna do this. And the whole time I was really being deceived. Not only was I being deceived, listen to what I'm finna tell you. Not only was I being deceived, I was putting myself in captivity. I was putting myself in bondage. I was locking myself up because once you start saying that stuff out of your mouth, you try to walk in it. And when you trying to walk in it and you fall short, guess what it'll start doing? It'll start making you question the Most High. It'll start making you question your strength. It'll start making you question your change. It'll start making you question, is he all powerful? Listen to me. I promise you. You never know you can't never say what you ain't gonna do. You can't never say what you ain't gonna do. I don't care what you believe in. You can't never say what you will never do. I ain't gonna never do that again. Well, look, check this out. So I get out of prison. Listen to me. Okay, so boom, look, check this out. I get out of prison. When they tell me, Baker, go on, pack your stuff up. They ready to take you to the front. My stuff was already packed. I'm ready to roll. I done gave away everything. They take me down to intake. When I got in intake, guess what I started thinking? I wasn't even out of the prison yet. The girl I had started talking to, I wasn't even out of the gate. I wasn't even out of the fence. The count wasn't even clear. I was already sitting in the holding cell waiting to get out. And my thoughts was, I'm finna get her as soon as I get to the car. All this praying I done did. All of this, I ain't gonna never do this. I ain't gonna never do that. I wasn't even out the gate. Something I done went to the throne with, ain't no telling how many times. I wasn't even out the gate. I was sitting in that aisle. As soon as I get to the car, it's over with. I promise you, 10 years. And then look. Then on top of that, I'm trying to reason with the Most High, like it should be a go for me. Hey y'all, I know we cool on this, ain't we? I just done 10 years. I just done 10. I know we cool on this. I know you gonna let me slide on this one. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go out here free as soon as I get to the car. You know, I ain't even gonna hold you like that. But listen. So I get out, they pop the fence, boom. When they pop the fence, I get out of the fence, I jump in the car and drive. I ain't got no license. I'm not on this girl's insurance, and I'm already thinking, I'm finna drop pig on her as soon as I get down the road. I pull over, first, look. I go to the store, going there, buy me some chicken, eat the chicken, pull off, I found a park. She said, what you doing? I said, I'm just gonna pull over at the park real quick. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get a fresh air. You know, I just want to get some fresh air. I just want to get out and walk. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the scenery. You know what I'm saying? See the little ducks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe feed the little ducks. They got the little duck feeders out here. You know what I'm saying? Go and you got some change in here. I see they take a little quarter, put a little quarter in the little duck feeder. Give me some, you know what I'm saying? Give me some breadcrumbs or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Feed the little ducks or whatnot. But really, I was just being strategic. Really, I was already being calculated. I was just trying to find a decent parking space. She was like, oh, a parking space right there. She not knowing my eyes trying to get out of sight. I'm looking for a parking space that's out of sight. Because when I get through throwing the little the little duck feeders around here, when we get to the car, it's going to be some issue. You know what I'm saying? She said, oh, a parking space right there. I said, yeah, I seen that. I'm going to find me one down here by these trees right here. Down here by the shade. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go down here by the shade right there. She said, oh, okay. She not even knowing. Listen, she not knowing it. She said, I go one. Ah, yeah, that's a good one right here. I'm gonna get right here. Then when I hit it with the bat, I'm probably back that boy in deep. I said, let's get out. Come on, let's walk for a little minute. So we get out, we walking right, we chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nice little apple bottom, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching and she done wore the little legging Johnson, you know what I'm saying? I've been done 10. They weren't making that kind of material. When I went in, they weren't wearing that kind of material right there. What kind of material is that you got on right there? She said, oh, you like it? You know I do. It don't even look, and it's a nude color. You know, it's a nude. It's nude, and it's sticking to you. Got a little print right there, too. What's that? What's why a big purse standing out like that right there? You know what I'm saying? Look. So we get back to the car. She said, "You want me to drive?" I said, "I want you to get in the back seat." She said, "Huh? Get in the back seat for what?" Man, look here. I'm not about to play these games. I said, "Man, what's up?" She said, "Boy, what kind of is that? A public park? We ain't gonna. It's people walking everywhere." Get what I told her? Woman, lady, ma'am, I just done 10 years. I don't care nothing about these people walking around here. I don't care nothing about these kids out here feeding ducks. I don't care nothing about none of that. You got tinted windows on here. I don't care nothing about these people walking around here. I said, "What's up?" She said, "Boy, she didn't want to get in the back seat." I said, matter of fact, we ain't even got to do all that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got to do all that. I just want to put my mouth right there. That's what I said. You know, I can't, because we on TikTok, so I can't really go into the details like that. But y'all know how I keep it. You know what I'm saying? I said, we ain't even got, just go ahead. Right there. She in the driver's seat, I'm in the passenger seat. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. Get what? While it's going down, I heard her say, I started to say walking. While it's going down, this old man walked by. He done parked close to her. He done walked by to get in his truck, right? The old man standing right there like his. She telling me stop. I said, what up? She said, he watching. I look up. Man, what's up with dude, man? Look, my guy that had no shame in his game, he was standing there like, look, true story, I kid you not. Look, we go on the pool. I said, don't even worry about it. We get in the car, pull off. When we pull off, you know what I'm saying, after about 5-10 minutes down the road, right then and there, I didn't say it to her, I said it to myself. Right then and there, I started asking myself, I was like, dang. I was like, man, do you know how many things I done told the Most High I wasn't gonna do? I ain't even been out of prison 20 minutes. I already done one. Listen, I already done one. Get what? And then I know the scripture. Get what the scripture say? Don't make no provision for the flesh. The scripture clearly say, don't make no provision. I had already started planning. When it say don't make provision, it's telling you don't plan to fall short. Don't plan to sin. I had already planned it. It say don't make provision. I done already did it. This is premeditated sin. That's exactly what this is. But then, look, I'm gonna tell you, I was hard on myself though. I was hard on myself because I know, not only did I know he saved me, I knew how far I had came. And then I know the devices. I know the tricks of the enemy. The enemy only gonna send you what you weak for. My vices before I went to the penitentiary, lust and greed. I like women and money. That's it. Never done a drug. I ain't worried about no drinking. I ain't worried about none of that. Money and women. They're my two vices. Those are the two I know I'll carry. It's a thorn in my side. So look, check this out. When we get home, I don't waste no time at all. I don't waste no time. We ain't in the house 2.5 minutes. We ain't in the house 120 seconds. We ain't in the house 120 seconds. We ain't in the house a full 2 minutes. Not even a full 2. Man, come here. You know what I'm saying? I'm aggressive with it. I ain't missed a beat. You know what I'm saying? Then I got something to prove. I got something to prove because I've been gone 10 minutes. I gotta make sure I make sure I still got it in the hip. You know what I'm saying? Because if a man can't move his feet, he can't move when he can. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta make sure I still got it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make, you know, man, come here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fresh out, you know what I'm saying? So I'm cut up. You know what I'm saying? I'm cut up, I'm strong. You know what I'm saying? Baby boy with it, African squat. You know what I'm saying? I'm all in the house like this here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. So after we get through, I'm laying in the bed. While I'm laying in the bed, get what? Again, this is premeditated sin. This is premeditated sin, and I'm already planning to do it again. I promise you, I'm already know I'm doing this again in the morning, God. Oh, listen, God, I don't know how you taking this right now. I don't know how you taking this. I'm hoping I'm getting a pass. Now I'm trying to use his word against him. He said, don't grace abound no more where there's sin. At this point, I'm abusing the sin. I'm abusing the grace. Like, this is most definitely premeditated sin. Hey, God, you know, it's been a long time since I had some of that right there. Some of that stuff that you created. You know what I'm saying? You created that, you know what I'm saying? And I know I ain't married, and I probably should never came over this girl's house, but, you know, in the morning, I'm probably going to do this again. You know, I'm going to talk to you again after that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk to you again after that. But right now, I'm most definitely going to do this again. I'm most definitely going to do this again. So look, check this out. Check this out. So that started happening, right? That really didn't affect my walk. At the time, I'm still getting up every morning because I'm still pretty much on the penitentiary routine. I'm still pretty much on the penitentiary routine. So I still get up in the morning. I'm reading my word. I got my, you know what I'm saying? I got my strong concordance. I'm still doing my studies. I'm still taking notes. I'm still doing all of this. But this is what I come to understand. All of this stuff that we say we ain't gonna do as believers in the beginning of our walk when we on fire for the Most High. We don't realize that he already knew you was going to do it. You sit up here making all of these promises, telling him all these things that you ain't. He said it's better to, listen to what I'm going to tell you. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. This in Ecclesiastes. He said it's better not to vow than to vow and not pay. I'm going to say it again. He said it's better not to vow than to vow and not pay. You sitting up here making all of these promises when he know you gonna fall short. He know you gonna drop some pig. He know you gonna give up some big purr. He know you gonna be in a position to tell a lie and you gonna tell the lie. He know somebody gonna get under your skin and you gonna get mad enough and you gonna cuss them folks out. He already know you gonna get angry and do something and say something you ain't got no business saying. He already know. But we sitting up in our human mind because it's a human condition and we feel like we gonna say all of this stuff to the king who wrote. He said he's the author and the finisher of our faith. He know everything. He omnipresent. He omnipotent. He know he everywhere at one time. And he know everything that's going to happen. When he was sitting on the boat with the disciples, them folks were scared to eat. Them folks were scared to think because he knew their thoughts, man. And we think as humans, listen to me, we think as humans in our mind, when we done came to Christ, we think we smarter than the enemy. We think we smarter than all the other people. And boy, when we get a taste of the spirit, we think we got all the power like we the king. And so we start saying all of these things that we ain't gonna do and why we ain't gonna do it, making all of these promises. And the whole time he done said it's better to vow. It's better not to vow than to vow and not pay. What we don't realize is we don't have to say all that. We don't have to listen. When he say, when we give forgiveness, when he say he moved it as far as from the east as from the west, and he throw that into the sea of forgetfulness, guess what we start doing? We start right back lying in the prayer. You already done start back lying in the prayer. He know you gonna do it 3 weeks from now. He done forgave you, and you up here talking about I ain't gonna do it again. He done seen 4 weeks from now, you gonna do it. You ain't even got to do that. We don't even have to say what we ain't gonna do. He done already washed us clean. Only thing you gotta do is have a little mustard seed and walk. You just take the walk. When you fall, you go holler at him. We ain't got to say what we ain't gonna do. But let me tell you something. Let me keep going. Let me keep going into this temptation though. After I met this girl at house for about 2-3 weeks, right? After I met this girl at house for about 2-3 weeks, this girl, I was deceived. Listen to me. So many people be thinking, oh, that's penitentiary talk, oh, that's jail talk, all this and that. Let me tell you something. It's some women out here who be popping their game on men and waiting for them to come home from the penitentiary, and they have other intentions other than what they telling you before you get there. This girl was talking about she wasn't into this and she wasn't into that, and she getting her life together and she going to school. True enough, she was going to school. But what I didn't know is she was expecting me to come home as Joe T. She was expecting me to come home as Joe T, come home, get some fresh air, and turn into Bubeko. That's what she was expecting. Probably what most people was expecting. Not just her, my homeboys, some of my family. All of them people was waiting. Just come home. Let him come home, get some fresh air. Eventually, he gonna turn back into, you know what I'm saying? And then this what they plotting on. Let me tell you about that enemy. The enemy plotting, he got the agenda. Because all of them thinking, we back. We finna get some bread. We finna turn the town upside down. We finna do this. We finna do that. But they do it in the most craftiest way. Listen to me. It's some people that's up under you right now. They acting like they're your friend. They acting like they're your biggest cheerleader. But guess what they doing the whole time? It's orchestrated. The whole time it's orchestrated. It's some orchestration going on. They just waiting for the moment. So you know what I'm saying? They just waiting for the moment. So after about 2-3 weeks rolled by, she started mentioning weed. When she started throwing up the weed, I was like, she started talking about a plug. She can get this for this price. She can get that. She just started throwing it out there. First, no, she walking around on the phone talking to somebody. Oh, yeah, tell him I can get him a pound for this, and that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my homegirl, she got it. It's cheap and this, and that. You know what I'm saying? She's saying it out loud. I know she waiting for me to say, hey, why you ain't tell me? That's what she expected from me. I don't say nothing. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, hold up, wait a minute. What she got going on? She know what I'm on. She know, you know what I'm saying, what I done came home on. She know I done changed my life. You know what I'm saying? I done dropped some pig in her. But she most definitely is able to tell, because she from my hometown, that I ain't nothing like who I used to be. So she know for a fact what she doing right now. I'm finna disagree with this. But she waiting. It's a hook, line, and sinker. It's a bait move. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the Most High taught us to fish. If you think the enemy ain't teaching his to fish, you wrong. You know what I'm saying? If the Most High done taught us to fish, one thing we know about the enemy is he think he try to mimic what the king do. He try to mimic what the king do. So he most definitely throwing out. He throwing alley-oops too. So look, when I ain't say nothing. So finally she go ahead and flat out ask me. She flat out asked me, "What's up? You wanna? I said, dude, what?" I said, man, you tripping, man. You know I ain't finna do nothing like that. Like, I just done 10 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to see my child. I ain't get to see my mama the whole time. Like, I run down the whole thing to her. What makes you think I ain't even been home 30 days yet? You asking me to jump in the streets like you tripping. She was like, well, ain't nobody gonna know. You know what I'm saying? We could do this and we could do it this way. She started. I said, dang. She done already had a plan mapped out and everything. But guess what, though? I was struggling at the time. Books hadn't took off. The job that I had wasn't paying. Now, let me tell you how good the enemy is. Because, let me tell you something. The king, when he fasted them 40 days and 40 nights, remember it was one time that the enemy took him up on the highest mountain. And when he took him up on the highest mountain, it said he told him, you fall down and worship me, I'm going to give you all this. He showed them all the world. Let me tell you something about the enemy. He take us up on that high mountain all the time. Because it's in your, what we seen in reality, what he was describing in reality is what the enemy show us in our head. And see, he showed me a flashback of what I used to have and what I used to do. All the money I used to have, all the opportunities I used to have. That's what he did. He showed me a flashback. If you get that bud, You gonna get this, you gonna be able to get that, you ain't gonna be behind, you gonna be able to catch up, you gonna be able to get the car, you gonna be able to get the clothes, you gonna be able to do this, you gonna be able to do that. Same thing when he did to the Messiah, when he took him on him, he said, you fall down and worship me. The minute I say yes, that's what I done did. The minute, that's what he do to so many people. He show you something in your head that can get you ahead. He show you a visual. It's gonna get you ahead. You fall for it. And then get what? And then it's a pretty ride in the beginning. You getting anything you want. It's a pretty ride in the beginning. But then when it all started crumbling, all these snakes around you, all these people backbiting you, people telling on you, people sleeping with your gal, your homeboys trying to rob you, people lying on you, people calling the police on you. He don't show you all that part. He just showed you the nice part. That's how you get most of the dope boys today. Most of the dope boys today, what they don't understand, I hope y'all watching this on YouTube, most of them in the streets today, what they don't understand is it look good, it sound good. What these rappers talking about look good, it sound good. Half of them ain't telling you what kind of STDs they got. You know, and half of them they ain't telling you when they went down there to the jail, they cried like a baby. They ain't telling you about that time somebody went upside the head. They ain't telling you none of that. Only thing they doing is flashing their bankroll, pulling up in their car and showing you that they got some Jordans on. That's all they showing you. They ain't telling you the hard part. They ain't telling you the hard part. So look, check this out. So after I was out, which I started, it's a whole lot within that story, but I ain't gonna get on all that. After I had been out for like 3 or 4 months, you know what I'm saying? One thing I remember, and for the people who just now getting on here, what I'm talking about is my walk with Christ versus when I came home versus now. My walk when I first came home versus now. That same girl I was just telling you about, she said, I remember her telling me, it was a time I had ordered some of my books, which was my first book. This my first book right here. I had ordered some books and I was supposed to go get the books. And she was intentionally not trying to take me to get the book. So I called my sister, told my sister to take me to get the books. Excuse me. And I remember when I came back, I sold all the books fast. But I remember her telling me, I'll never forget this. It's a couple of things a couple of people done said to me since I've been home. She said, you ain't gonna be able to keep selling that book. That's what she told me. She said, you ain't gonna, what's up, Water Whisker? She said, you ain't gonna be able to keep selling that book. That's how the enemy works. It's a lot of people that the Most High done show. He done showed you something. He done told you something. He done promised you something. And then you get around the wrong people. You attach yourself to the wrong people. You start hanging around people you ain't got no business hanging around. And then they start throwing them little seeds in your head. And then you start to back away from the vision. You start to question, is it possible? You start to question yourself. This girl told me, she said, you ain't gonna be able to keep doing that. But see, let me tell you something about the word. What I didn't know, what I used to pray and talk to the Most High. But I'm gonna tell you something. You don't have no fight. You don't have no power until you know Him. You can say what you want to say. You could think you could do this, but until you get into that word, you're not gonna understand how to fight. You're not gonna understand Him, and you're not gonna understand the enemy. So at this point, and I credit this to probably my entire 5 years I've been home, that discernment. You can have discernment in the natural, but you can have discernment in the, listen what I'm going to say because it's important. You can have discernment in the natural and know something is wrong and know something is off. But if you're not able to tie it to the word, you're not going to know whose voice it is. Listen, you can have discernment in the natural, but if you don't know the word, you're not going to be able to tie it to the scripture. So when she said what she said, the scripture tell you clearly, if it don't comfort you, if it don't encourage you, and if it don't edify you. Listen, it's 3 things that the scripture tell you when it's the Most High speaking, when it's the Spirit. If it comforts you, edify you, or encourage you, it's him. Anything other than that, it's clear. It's not him. Without me knowing the word, I just would have been able to discern I would have been able to say what most people say. Oh, she hating. See, you see, when you don't know the word, you gonna respond. Natural gonna respond to natural. That's why most dudes in the street don't know how to fight. They respond to natural with the natural. They respond to the world with the world. When you say something you ain't got no business saying that don't edify you, comfort you, or encourage you, what you would do is say, oh, they hating. But if you know the word, you able to say, oh, that's the enemy. Oh, that's the enemy. Then not only am I able to say that's the enemy, I'm able to turn around and say, well, Philippians 1:6 say, listen, you able to fight back. You able to flip it and say, well, the scriptures say, he who started the good work in me will complete it until the day of Christ. I don't have to call you no hater. I ain't got to call you no hater. I'm going to repeat the word to you. But see, that's the difference in my walk then versus my walk. You know what I'm saying? So when she said that, I was like, that was up. Clearly you the enemy. Clearly you the enemy. If you with me, you know what type of man I am. You say you a praying woman. Listen to what I'm saying. You know you a praying woman. You have a relationship with the Most High. It's no way if I told you my vision from him, you would discredit the vision. It's no way. It's people right now you done shared your vision with, said stuff to that you know come from him, and they ain't said nothing to encourage you, edify you, or comfort your vision. You need to cut them loose. You need to cut them loose. Point blank, period. Because they most definitely, they not hearing from him. Because when you connect to people who are hearing from him, they going to sow into what you got going on. So I ended up getting out of that situation. Everything did, so much got out of hand. Listen, so much got out of hand after that. But I don't want to just give every single story. But I'm gonna get into the difference between when I came home and now. When I first came home after about a year, I used to go viral on Facebook a lot. I used to do this thing called Bible Buddies. And when I was doing Bible Buddies, I used to get invited to a lot of churches. I used to go places and speak. I used to go places and give my testimony all the time. Pastors would hit my phone, inbox me. Hey, man, you want to come here? You want to come to youth night? You want to come here? I was doing gospel rap. I was traveling, doing everywhere. And then going everywhere. And then it was this one, I went to this church one day, back home in my hometown. When I walked out of that church, I heard loud and clear in my spirit. He said, don't speak at another church. When I felt it, I was like, what was that? He said, don't speak at another church. And I'm gonna tell you, I had reached a different level of liberty at that point. It wasn't that he was telling me to quit talking. What I realized was that all of these pastors and all of these people was inviting me for one reason. Because I walked like it, I sound like it, and they figured I was it. True enough, I'm a believer, but they didn't care nothing about what was going on behind closed doors. I was getting invited out of state just by watching my videos, man. And I didn't like it, but I was going just on the strength of being what? Let's be honest, manipulative. Taking advantage of the situation. And I don't want to be that type of believer. It's too many pastors, too many deacons, too many bishops, too many people. Just because you hear them on the internet, you hear them quote the scripture. What's up, my girl? You hear them quote the scripture. You hear all of these things that they saying, and all of this power that you think coming out of them. And guess what? Them folks ain't got no power. Them folks fall short. Them folks doing stuff they ain't got no business doing. Them folks living completely different lives. And guess what? I was one of them. I believe, listen to me, I stand on that. But I know for a fact, it's no way them churches was having discernment when them folks was calling me. Because it was, at one, get what I was doing? I was back hustling. I was selling dog food. Not only was I selling dog food, I was living with a woman. We screwing at night. Not only was I living with her, get what? She was my cousin. And get what? People ringing my phone like crazy. People ringing my, I was leaving church and selling heroin. Get what they doing? That was a great word, Mr. Baker. I know it. Because guess what? The gifts of the Most High are irrevocable. So it ain't. Do you know how many people carrying gifts in them right now? He gave you the gift. He ain't gonna take it away from you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you again. He gave you the gift. It's in you. But let me tell you something about the word. The word is alive. Just because that's why they always say don't shoot the messenger. A homeless person can give you a word. You can't say it wasn't the Most High because he's homeless. You hear me? A blind person can give you a word and you can't say it wasn't the Most High because he can't see you. A mute person can probably tell you something in sign language. You can't say it wasn't the Most High because he gave it to you in sign language. And this is what I come to learn about my walk with the King. Just because I had fallen short, it did not mean he was not able to use me. I did not have to lie. And that's when I realized I reached a whole nother level of liberty. I didn't have to lie to the King. I didn't have to, listen, people, listen to me. David said, I've wronged no man. I've wronged no man. But too many Christians want to make you think that on the surface that they perfect. That's why when the Messiah said, the Pharisees and Sadducees, he said, you clean on the outside. He said, but in the inside, it's a graveyard. It's too many believers walking around here acting like they perfect, acting like they don't have flaws, acting like they don't go home and argue with their spouse, acting like they don't get angry with their kids. They act like they not having sex before marriage. They act like they don't lie. They act like they don't steal. They act like they ain't doing nothing. They know they doing everything under the sun. But then they'll come into church, they'll shake your hand, they'll hug you, they'll tell you they love you, and them folks be awful. And guess what? That's when I come to realize I don't have to lie. I said, what? I don't have to lie. I said, I come to understand that I'm a broken vessel. And when he gives me the opportunity to speak, I'm going to speak. And I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you feel about me. Because what I come to understand is, he said, what the Spirit of the Lord is, he said, there's liberty. And listen, the enemy is crafty, the enemy is strong, and it ain't not one person on this planet that's perfect. Not one. And that's what I come to understand about my walk. I said, ain't no way I'm going to continue to walk around and act like I'm something I'm not. And listen to me, by the time I started telling my stories, guess what? All of them pastors unfollowed me on Facebook. Then none of them messaged me and asked me how I was doing. But I could feel it in my spirit. I said, they done got on a lot of them probably, man, it looked like Joe T done went back. It looked like Joe T this. It looked like Joe T that. The Most High told me I can keep it as real as I want. He said, long as you don't get away from me. You can't go through my page. You can't go through none of my social media. You can't go through nothing and tell me over the 5 years that I have not kept him right in the center. And with me keeping him right in the center, I keep it raw. I keep it real. And I always bring it back to him. And that's what I came to understand. I said, these people want to walk around here like, no. I get on here and tell stories about when I had sex. I said, but I'm going to bring them back around to the King. I get on here and tell them about when I was selling dope. And then I'm going to bring it back around to him. I'm going to get on here and tell these people about when I lied and got over on some people. And I'm going to bring it right back around to him. I said, but ain't no way I'm going to get on here and act like I ain't done it. I bet you that. I said it won't be a person in this world, especially the enemy. But I'm going to tell you something about the enemy. The enemy know if you got secrets. Anybody who got secrets on you, they'll make you feel like they can muzzle you. Anybody who got secrets can make you feel like they can muzzle you, like they can keep you quiet. Because a part of me, well, I ain't going to do that because I'm hustling. No. I'm going to tell them. I ain't going to do that because I'm sleeping around. I'm going to tell them. That I went and spoke at a church in Houston. And before I spoke at the church, guess what he asked me? He said, I know you keep it a little real. He said, dumb it down for me. I said, I can't do that. He said, why not? I said, because that wouldn't be the Holy Spirit. You asking me to control the message. First and foremost, you asking me to control the message if you asking me to dumb it down. He said, man, you know I got a lot of the youth and stuff in here. I said, if I get on the stage and the Spirit tell me to talk about all the dirt that I done been through, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not finna get up here and act like it's peaches and cream out here when there's devils and demons out here. Who you talking to? Huh? I'm not finna get up here and lie to these folks when there's devils and demons out here, man. But look, that's the difference in my walk now. The difference in my walk now is freedom. The difference in my walk now is liberty. The difference in my walk now is, I tell you the truth. My daddy told me a couple of weeks. He said, man, they love listening to you. He said, man, because you have reached a level to be able to tell stuff that people, when they hear you say it, they say, did he just say that? Because I'm free. I don't owe nobody. Listen, you don't have no hell or no heaven to put me in. So when I get on here and I say, oh yeah, I slept with my cousins back in the day and did this and did that, and I did, and people say, you did what? Hold on before you fix your mouth. I guarantee you, if the Most High came down right now and opened up the books, guess what he gonna show us? He gonna show us things that you ashamed to talk about. He gonna show us stuff that you embarrassed to talk about. But guess what he gonna do? I'm gonna tell you something because I'm unashamed. It does not bother me. You don't have no heaven or no hell to put me in. When I say I'm flawed, when I say I done did it, when I say I done it, it is what it is. And I don't care if you laugh. I don't care if you make jokes. I don't care if you try to make fun of me. I don't care nothing about that. You know why? Because I'm free. You the one ain't free. Social media got you captive. Your friends got you captive. You walk around wearing stuff that you can't afford to wear because you captive. You walk around trying to be somebody that you not because you captive. You want to get your body done because you captive, because they put pressure on you. You walk around here and don't even know you done lost your identity. You ain't never had an identity because listen, you in captivity. You in bondage. You answer to them. I answer to him. Listen, I walk for him. You walk for them. You trying to please them. I'm pleasing him. I don't care nothing about these people's opinion. I don't care nothing about what they think about me. I told my cousin the other day on the phone, I said, listen to me, cuz. I said, I promise you right now, if they told me I had 5 minutes left to live, I said, I'll take my last 5 minutes and breathe and feel so free. I said, because I've been who he called me to be. I've done what he asked me to do. I said, I would not go to the graveyard and no regrets. That's the difference between my walk then and my walk now. When I first came home, parts of me was in bondage. Parts of me was in captivity from what they taught me in the church. From what they taught me in the church. You know how many believers I know broke in 2 ways. They broke in their spirit and they broke in their finances. You know why? Because the church done told them, man. It's so many people that, listen to me, it's so many people who standing up in the church right now have not been liberated. What they have become is they mimic. They mimic and they lie. They won't tell you the truth. And then when they get up there and tell, they tell their testimony, be so sugar-coated. Tell them what you doing. Tell them your body count. Tell them all these lies you done told. Tell them all this stuff you done stole. They can't do it. You know why? You know why they can't do it? Because they scared. They in captivity. They in bondage. And they say they believers. He said, well, the spirit of the Lord is there is liberty. I said, won't nobody make me feel like I'm in no box. Won't nobody make me feel like I'm captive. And ain't no way I'm going to be in bondage to no man and no woman walking on this earth. That's the difference. When I first came home, I played church. Today, I am church. That's the difference. And that's how I'm in it. When I came home, I played church. Today, I am church. That's it. Point blank, man. Point blank, man. I think the Most High, homie, for real. As far as I done came. Real talk, man. Hey, it's been a blessing. You better know it. Man, look. Yeah. I seen a couple people asking about the book. About my book. I got my books on sale right now. My book's on sale right now on my website, jtb3.org. You go to jtb3.org. I got both my books on sale. You can get both books right now, 2 for 1, for $35. If you ain't on my YouTube, go subscribe to my YouTube. I serve the Most High. jtb3.org. If you took something from the message, man, if you took something from the message, cash at me $1. Okay, so boom, 1. Somebody put my, let me get him. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so boom, 1 is my cash app. Cash at me $1. Hold on. Man, y'all know I'm gonna keep it real, man. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it real, man. It ain't no. That's the only way for me to do it. I got a PayPal. Or just go subscribe. Who's the person said you ain't got no? The person. What's up, twin? The person who said you ain't got cash out. Go subscribe. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like messages like this, you gonna love my YouTube. My YouTube is Joe Baker is my name. My YouTube is Joe Baker. Joe Baker. Joe Baker is my YouTube. If you ain't already subscribed to my YouTube, go subscribe to my YouTube. If you ain't got the book, man, go support the kid. Grab your book. JTB3.org. JTB3.org. I'm finna get ready to jump up off here, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's all the king, man. It's all the king, man. Be free. That's all I'm gonna say there before I leave. Be free. And when I say be free, I'm not saying commercial break me, please. I'm not saying that you can live and do whatever it is you want to do. Make sure your purpose, make sure you center in him and how you living. And understand that you're not perfect. It is no perfect human being on the planet. Not one. Not one. You're gonna make it hard on yourself, man. You're gonna make it hard on yourself. He was stretched wide, homie. He was stretched wide. And if you believe that, stand on it. Yeah, no doubt, man. That's what I'm finna do. I'm finna jump off here, man. I'm finna go take a shower, man. It's been a blessing. I had to get on here and talk about that. I got 2 videos probably going up tomorrow on my YouTube. I'm working on it, Brent. I've been chilling, man. I've been chilling. Building on, you know what I'm saying, what I got going on. But hey, y'all be blessed. I'm finna get ready to jump up off here real quick before my phone dies, because I want to make sure they're safe. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow around the same time tomorrow on TikTok. Y'all be blessed.